And let me say welcome again to another edition of the program, The Bottom Line. And this is where we do discuss the issues from the top to the bottom. And we give our personal analysis and opinions on what we know or what we see. And as usual, like we say, our opinions may not be right. They may not be wrong either. But that's how we feel about it. And so let me say welcome to Orita Menon in Sweden. Stockholm, to be specific, the capital city of Sweden, and also Marie Massaquoi is there in the United Kingdom in London, and Paul the Lord Chulupe will be joining us later on in the course of the program. And my name is Linford Goer. I come to you from the Royal Kingdom of Norway in Scandinavia, this cool country. But again, this is where life is and how life is. And so let me say, ladies, welcome, and I'm the only gentleman for now. And tonight we're going to be discussing a series of issues. But just before we go around the table to our panelists, will play our music, and this music is unique for the fact that it talks about the behavior of our government in Liberia, and so Facebook will have no copyright to this music, but we will play it because it suits the occasion that we are discussing. And when we come back, we'll be making our opening rounds with our panelists this evening on the Bottom Line. Welcome.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up small, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people who us, the people lie to us, the government betray us, they betray us so much. I said they lie. The people who us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not know. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you. That's why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us, they betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. I said no one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay, they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock them for us. With the promises that left us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to breathe? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
The government betray us. They can lie. They can steal. They corrupt. They connive to do all the bad things. And so let me say welcome to the ladies. Let's start with Marie. Marie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Super excited for the show.
Okay.
How are you doing?
I'm great and in good spirit tonight to be here at the service of the Liberian people to discuss issues concerning Liberia. Orita, how are you?
Hi, Lim, for everybody. I'm doing good.
Good. And yesterday or last night was the Aurora, the what do you call that? The Northern Light, and people from my end, everybody was chasing it from everywhere. Because you got to be at a particular area to see it. So we were looking for the highest peak, and somebody would tell me, "Oh, go on the other side," and I'll drive there. When I go, I can see it, and and you know. But I heard that people in Oslo, of all places, they are not in the mountain like me. They saw it. Or did you guys see it in Sweden? By the way, it's coming out tonight again. It's coming. I got the app. I got the app on my phone, so it tells me when it's coming up. So did you guys hear about it?
We usually do every year once it's coming. But as I learned, depending on the distance, you need certain glasses to really, get a good look.
But no, here our own is visible. It's clear. You can see it dancing. As long as you get to that height and that peak, and then you can see it. And I want to say it was in the UK a couple of weeks or days ago. So I don't know, Mary, did you happen to see it? The Aurora, the Northern Light? Okay.
No.
No, okay. It depends on your location. But
Yeah, I'm so busy researching. I don't even have time to look out. Sorry. Maybe it was out, but I'll ask my
yeah, no. Normally, if it is how somebody will shout around you and you will see it. And when people see it, it's exciting. It comes in different color, but predominantly in yellow and green color. It's amazing, and it's just some little trick that the Earth plays. I think the magnetic field and it's reacting to something from the sun ray. But I'm not Earth scientist, so I don't know anything about that. But it's amazing. But let's say welcome to the Borderland. For those of you joining us for the first time, my name is Linford. I'm here along with Marie Masukwe and from England, and I'm also here with Rita Menon. She's from the Scandinavia as well. So we are two Scandinavians here. And Paul is going to be joining us later on. And tonight we'll be bringing you interesting topics, some of which are not strange to you. You've heard it, but again, like we usually say on this show, we give our opinion. No matter how many years they discuss one issue all over the country, we too have the right to discuss it because we all look at it from different angles, and that's why we're going to be doing tonight exactly. And guys, let me just parade you through what we'll be talking about, so that you will be prepared. Tonight we'll be looking at the press conference. By the way, there have been 2 press conferences at the Monrovia, or hosted by the Monrovia City Corporation, what we call Monrovia City Hall. Okay, it's actually the City Corporation. And the first one was held a couple of days ago by the City Mayor, Jefferson Koichi. And then the latest one was held by the Director of Communications at the Monrovia City Hall and I think the director for the city police, we used to call them mosquito police, but now they call themselves city police, along with the man who is accused being the mastermind or the doer of the act that led to the death of Chief Justice Madam Musu Gloria Scott's daughter a couple of days ago, and his name is Vali Taylor. And that press conference is latest to be held by the Monrovia City Corporation. And so we'll be bringing you that press conference, and you will look at it. We'll play you some clips from there. You look at it, and we'll discuss it, and we'll give our views on it. For me, I call it stage managed. Stage managed. That is, people manage it. They decide how it should be. We also will be looking at something that when I first watched this video, it was funny, but then I got to know that it was serious later on. There was this wounded soldier in Nimba County, in Ganta, Nimba County, who made an attempt to remove the street football stadium that they built in Ganta City. And he was so mad that there was no development going in that part of the country.
Leave us, sorry for interrupting you.
We're not seeing your face.
We can't see you, darling.
Yeah, because I'm reading. Oh, come on, my camera is off. Sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And so we will be looking at that. This wounded ex-combatant was mad, and he attacked that government illegal blockade of roads in Nimba County. And on the flip side of human interest, there is this lack of nationalism amongst Liberia, something that seems to be lack of nationalism amongst Liberians. We are not nationalistic, it seems. And so we'll be giving you an example, and we'll also discuss the effect of lack of nationalism among Liberians, and we'll give you a vivid example. So these are just a few of the topics that we'll be discussing, and we ask our viewers to share the show and invite your friends, and we will be here to do the rest for you. So guys, welcome, Paul. You are the latest to come. Just tell us exactly how you're doing, and welcome our guests. Paul, you are muted.
Thank you, guys. This is Lord Chilopil of London, precisely Croydon, and I'm happy to be back on Butterline. It's good to see all the beautiful faces, and also to our viewers. For your first time joining, this is the Butterline of Liberia television, where we discuss the issue and we don't eat crab with shame. Here we say it is, and whatever we say is our own opinion, and we express it in a way that we think is the best for the occasion. So yes, I'm happy to be here, and then let's see what's going on.
Okay, Paul. If you can see some of our new viewers there, you can welcome them. I see Muna Klepla. Yeah, Muna. This name sounds like a crew name. I like the haha name. Crew name. Orita, Muna Klepla. What name do you think that is? I like a name, the hard name, Klepla, is like the person is tough, So Muna, welcome.
Wait,
and
Klipla, sorry. Klipla, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Klipla.
Klipla.
So yeah, but whether that crew or not, but I'm sure she's from the southeast, So I like that name, Muna. So welcome, Muna. You can share the show also to your contacts. And Paul, on a serious note, we'll be discussing this press conference, the latest press conference that was held by the Monrovia City Corporation, uh, in which we saw the alleged culprit of the act that led to the death of uh, former Chief Justice's daughter, and also of the corporation police himself, uh, Warren Thomas, I just forgot his last name. And there was this other guy who said he's the press secretary or the press director for the city corporation. And those three people came on the on the on the press conference. Gerald, you're welcome. Gerald, if you have time, you can join us also. Later on, I can
Send
send
him
you
the
the
link.
link. Just let me know. Huh?
Send him the link so he can join us.
Okay, Gerald, I will send you the link. Check your check your messenger. And so, yeah, I was right. It's crew name, Klepla, Klepla. So that's what we'll be looking at. And Paul, I want you to tell me exactly if you saw that press conference. Um, what did you take from there? We'll play the video though, but I mean, we're just making a general round for the viewers who have idea.
Oh, yeah, Linford, I saw the so-called press conference, and what I saw is like this. They had a press conference for the MCC management to actually protect this guy, and then they became the spokesperson for him. And I think, I don't know why they call the press conference. If somebody of interest, I just don't understand it. Maybe you guys will tell us why they were kind of shielding him. Maybe they know their own reason, and there are a lot of things out there. So yeah, I think it would be good to play the clip first, and then we can see
Mm-hmm.
the reaction from the people. So
Okay,
let look at the introduction of that press conference, and then the perpetrator himself that were accused. He
okay.
can also
Yeah,
talk. So
I think that's fair enough.
yeah,
If you play the clip, then we'll have idea. But I really wanted to delay that until Gerald can come in because I
The
just sent him the
director
link.
of
But
yeah.
Monrovia City Police. The president today is to provide clarity when it comes to the character or the employment of varying talent. Volunteer is a professional officer. Since he came to the institution, the behavior and the character proves to us that automatically is not the same person of before. For the past time, volunteer have been working. I've never witnessed any bad character of him that is outside of our rules and regulations that govern the Monrovia City Police. So information that been spread around from the various talk shows that Vanity left the country, which before I don't know the reason or where they were speaking from. I will say this to you, it's diabolical, it's a falsehood, it is from the better wood of the devil. Vanity is seated right here. He work and employ with the city police department. And there was no record or history that he left the country. Vanity is a patrolman and he takes charge of the day-to-day activity when it comes to our charge of quarter management. And one thing I want to make clear about photos that have been proved or that have been shown on Facebook, these are photos from past record. And in fact, it is a fake account. So people use people's past history to accomplish the mission.
Right.
okay,
So the Facebook account is they telling us now that face account somebody using this. So I guess you have seen a clip on this. So link for
mm,
Marie Orita. This is the introduction to the press conference of what they had. They went in there to make this guy to look good in the eyes of many Liberians. But before we get into the topic, I want you guys to listen to Valley 2, and then we can have the discussion. What you guys think?
um, yeah, okay, Orita.
No, I think it's good. Let's watch the whole thing and then.
It's just another clip on they are being seen. So yeah, Valley he said make his
Yeah,
point.
yeah. But I was looking at this report that
Okay, go.
because the whole press conference, like we say, it was stage managed. So
Mhm.
let's look at the scenarios surrounding the particular clip where the
Okay,
director of the police, city police, is talking, and he already vindicated the man without the man said being interviewed. Yeah, he already vindicated the man. Now let's look at some of the things he said. He said the people put up. In fact, if you look at the Valley guy, according to information we got, his portfolio at the Monrovia City Hall is that he's the chief of operation or the director of operations. But in this video clip, the city police director is saying that this man, he said that the man is a senior officer. If you listen to King from the start, he's a senior officer since he joined the force. And then his activity is the day-to-day operation of the day-to-day management of the something he said. Okay, so and then the also said he's a patrolman. So he messed up right there. The, you can't have a senior officer who is for operation and then he be patrolman at the same time. That's one thing. Okay. And then he went on to say that this man, since he joined, his character have proven that he's a new man, he's a different man. Okay.
exactly.
So what distinguishes this man from the past? And then how do you know that the pictures they put up are pictures from the past and they are using the man past? Okay, so what was in this past? Because you keep saying about the past. So what was in this past about this man? Which if I were at that press conference, I would have asked that question. So that was some of the things that I saw or I heard.
Orita,
No, I think everything Linford just said, because and one thing I pick up on that, because I know growing up in Liberia, as a Liberian parent, when you know your child do something wrong, you would
Mhm.
take that child hand and go with the child either to the neighbor place. I mean, wherever the child committed, anything out of the normal, the parents or the parent will go with the child, sit there and do the talking for the child. I'm not saying he didn't talk, but when the police, I don't know if it was the director or he
Yeah,
was
he's the
talking.
director for the police, the
Yeah,
city police.
yeah. Personally, I feel like the whole press conference, Vale should have been the one, you know, being, putting out his own story.
Mhm. Yeah,
that's
which he
right.
will do. He will do though in the next video.
Yeah.
So, Marie, did you suspect anything from that video where they are not even talk to the corporate, but the city police director in his introduction is trying to vindicate this man, make the man to be a good man. He say the people yell lie on the man, everything the pictures and thing they put out is a diabolical lie from the bed of the
The
devil. And
devil.
yeah, and I think the only truth he said right there is that it was on social media and in the news that the man escaped. But here's the man right here. And let's be fair, let's give him that one. That one was true. The man was there. We saw him, his living body. But for him to go and even associate those pictures with the man past, but then it raises the question: what is in this man past that he keep referring to? So, Mary, did you pick up something from that?
To be honest with you, that's a really deep conversation. I'll leave it to you guys, but
Oh,
I believe there's something going on. It's not very, yeah. It's not
okay,
balancing. There's no it's not balancing.
okay, fair enough. Paul,
Linford,
mm,
the allegation came out what? When? And
it,
how
it,
long Valley been out of the picture?
it came on a Thursday, I think.
Right. And then Jefferson Kochi had a press conference.
Hmm.
Valley was nowhere to be seen.
Hmm.
If this guy who been accused from high profile person
And let
and
me get out before you go. And Jefferson Koji admitted that he will feel uncomfortable to talk about the
to
guy
talk
in the
about
press conference.
to talk about the guy, yeah.
Yeah.
So now it was alleged that this guy they got him out of Liberia, so the tension was on. Then they brought him back. That's how I see it, because the situation occurred many days ago, and it need been around. So the mayor had a press conference. He was not he said he was uncomfortable to talk about any employees of the place. So that's tell you something. Then few days later, they saw him in Ganta behind Jefferson Kochi. And then they had a press conference the following day. So what does that tell you? They're trying to shield something that we don't know. If somebody is accused because the police said the public, if the public have information, they should bring it to the, and a high profile person came out and say, yeah, this guy is the one that did it act. So up to now, this guy have not been called in by the police. So something just fishy about the whole thing here. You see, you
And
look at
and
it, and then
and
I will put out some kind of thing today. Now there was
mhm,
a Senate hearing.
mhm.
The police director now have to say that Valley is wanted. Tomorrow by 10 o'clock, he might appear at the police station.
He
So
should be
all of
arrested
this,
instead of being wanted. They should go
instead of,
for
yeah,
him.
say he will have to appear tomorrow at 10. But this is a man of interest. Somebody high profile had named him. So why are they dragging this story? If I've been accused in Liberia, Paul Cholope, the law murder somebody, the police will be to my doorstep ASAP. They will arrest me for questioning. You remember the arrested electrician that worked in a woman compound. So
Mhm.
why are they dragging this thing along? Something just fishy about this government and their behavior. So that's why I wanted to say the thing is just not right. Something not right. And then we need to go into Valley himself, the behavior of this guy, maybe a psychologist who watching or could call in and tell all the behavior of this guy.
Roll.
So if y'all want to listen to the young man himself,
Sure, roll it.
okay,
Absolutely.
let me roll this thing. And before I roll this, there's something I want to say. Most bad people in Liberia, they always call God name for some reason. God just taking a hit. So listen to this guy. He's going to have a prayer before he speak. Here we go.
Father, honestly, as a Muslim, my community and my religion, I got a prayer point. Muslim, I feel. فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Okay, so let's continue. Tell people who you are and what you do as a
Father, by your background, Larry Teller, by MCC, I'm a religion friend. And yet we brought me back down to City Hall. I lived in Banjo, teach the Muslim children, about 200 plus Muslim Arabic children. I control a mosque, masjid, Tahawi, in Banjo, Babu, go to my home hero. One day I was driving on the traffic, I got my own land, how my children and how my family with me. So I was surprised to see that the thing on the media about me. So really, I don't know what really going on.
Okay, so before you can come up with your questions, I told you this is a very brief press conference. A few things I would want you to know here is that as you listen to him, he is a patrolman as postulated by the director of city police. He is a patrolman of the Monrovia City Police.
Okay, guys, this man had a press conference. He had a prayer to the Almighty Allah first. But there's no remorse in him that, look, I was accused. It was something I have not done. And I beg God for forgiveness. They put lie on me and condolences to the family. Nothing like that. See the guilt in this guy's face. I'm not passing judgment on him. But look, if somebody accuse you, Linford or Marie or Rita, that you murder someone and you have not done such thing, what would be your first response? Because that's big allegation on your head. Isn't this is where you come in to show that remorsefulness in you that, look, it was not me, I was not even around, I don't know what this all about. To that family, I will even go and visit the family. It's not me, to show some sort of, but look at him from his whole structure. Something just tell you something about this guy not right. So y'all can take it through. I don't know how you'll see it because it's just to pick up from what I saw, something is not right. And you finding people there trying to talk for him. So what you think? Let's start with the ladies. Orita?
Um, the thing is, I would say this, and I would say it without Liberians can take it how they want. There's this thing I usually say. Okay, I'm not generalizing. I'm not saying all Liberians, but more than 60-70% of Liberians is the fact that for him, seeing there the way he's talking, and at the same time trying to gain sympathy from people, knowing that oh, I did something, even though it is alleged. But like you said, Paul, we can see. I mean, you can see that if that man didn't hold that knife, he know who did it, and he saw when it was happening. But sitting there, he's going about with the I call it the typical Liberian thing where people would throw rocks, hide their hands, and play victim. And then we as Liberians would sit there, be finding excuses for a man like him. Why to this day, that woman child who lost her life, it just feel like, oh, she's gone. No remorse, nothing whatsoever. And that man, he is guilty. Like I said, even if he didn't help the knife, he know who did it. He know when, where the whole thing happened, and who gave instructions.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Linford does set the whole thing. Let's hear you.
Okay. There is something I learned a long time ago, and it's a phrase. It goes like this: conscious innocence. Conscious innocence. You know it. You pretend to be innocent. That's the summary of the whole thing. Conscious innocence. So this fellow, I'm no expert on body language. I need to find a word for that. I need to go to this time we don't use Google, so we don't use dictionary. So I need to ask Google. People who read people's body language, I need to know the English word for that. But I'm not an expert. But you can see this guy. In fact, the whole thing. Let's go to Jefferson Kweji press conference. I know Jefferson Kweji. He will come with a broken English, and you are like, he's a tough guy when he's talking. You prepare this document without even, I don't know what it was you said. He talking with zeal. But here was a man, when this thing happened, he went to do interview, his face was bent down, and you could see the ringer in his face. Get an old man like me, he was a young boy. You could see, he began ringer right away. You could see the line like my own, yeah. And he couldn't lift his face up. Facial expression tells a lot. That's why if you do psychology, if you go for interview, your interviewer, they look at your face. When they ask you a question, you explain it. Your eye contact with them will tell them that this person is confident. They know what they're talking about. But you there when they ask you, you bend your head, you lift your head, And I'll tell you, I feel many interviews like that before. And then I got to know that this was my reason because I try to play this shy. I don't want to look at people's face, for long. So facial expression tells a lot. The brother, in my own code of jurisdiction, if I were to pass verdict, I would say he's guilty until he can prove himself innocent. But he was playing what we call conscious innocence. He knows what happened, then he wants to act like he doesn't know. Okay, the first thing here, Paul, you mentioned about people, using religion to gain sympathy or bad people.
Yeah.
It has become a simple thing in our society. If you can have men born naked who established a church, a man who admitted, this one in every accusation, the man admitted that he used to kill young children, babies, and drink their blood. That's why he will be naked and they go to war. Everybody heard it. Nobody putting him off. Nobody put gun to his head. He said it. And then that man go and establish a church and people can go there and go sit down. Even though the Bible says that somebody can change. But I would not go for that kind of change, man. That man gets crazy one day in the church and start killing you. What y'all say? Y'all say, oh, he changed? Okay. Then Prince Johnson of all presidents. I'm coming, Paul. I know you want to go. Yeah. Prince Johnson, who killed our living president? The president was bad. We all know. But at least our president, you grab him, man. The man begging you, hey, I beg you, hey, Prince. Anytime I see that video, I get sick. Every time I see that video, I get sick. The man is begging you, hey, Prince. The man started talking like, baby, hey, Prince. That kind of way. He's not even talking like your real man. He's talking like, baby, that you could spare that man life. That moment that man said, I beg you. Remember that it was the life that God gave that man that was in him, begging you right there, say, leave me. No matter all the bad things he has done, you kill a man. Then you establish church and people go there. So you see, it has become a norm in our society where people will hide behind the religion. But the Bible says nothing will go unaccounted for. So we're waiting. It's God's will. And so for me to conclude, I would say that this fellow, in my own code of opinion, is guilty from what I saw. And reading from his surrounding, the way the people were behaving around him, he's guilty. That's my opinion. I'm not right. I'm not wrong either.
Great. So Marie, from listening to that video, that this guy had been accused of murdering somebody and he disappeared for a while. Nobody have seen him all of the blue. We saw him a few days ago in Nimba County behind the city mayor. Then they had a press conference yesterday. And looking at this guy's face and look at what he said from the press conference, he decided to pray to God first before he could call his name and say nothing much. And then later on, the police spokesperson came in to talk. So how you look at the whole thing, Marie? What do you think from watching the video?
To be honest, as an investigator and as an assessor, he's guilty. He's guilty of the crime because if you're innocent, there's no way you're going to go through all of that drama. It's not just going to work. He's definitely guilty.
Right.
As an assessor and as an investigator, no, there's no way. Because if someone is not guilty of something, they don't walk with guilt, you see.
Right.
They just walk free spirit. They're just ready. They won't even think about, that would be too far for them to think about God. Because they know they are innocent.
Right.
And the body language will say it. The innocent body language will show. Now it's the guilt body, it's the guilt body language that is showing. That's why he's drawing all these elements, all these tunnels to come in to say, look at me, I'm not guilty, I'm not guilty. So that's what those are guilt elements. When the first thing you do is say, oh my God, I need to pray because your heart is beating fast. and you getting hot. So the first thing you think about is, let me prove to people that I'm not wrong. Let me talk about, but if you are innocent, your mind will not even go to God because you are innocent. So your innocent body will be innocent body. Well, come on, learn for you guys know an innocent body. It's just normal for you to just spot the innocent body, isn't it? You don't get your psychology, your body language to spot the innocent body.
If we could see God's face when the guy will pray, God will say, "Well, we not."
I will post like
God will protect this land.
the point Marie just stressed is true that we have met the man of God in our midst here. We're to welcome Gerald on this program, the man of God. So, and then people who study theology and all that, they do a little bit of psychology. So we'll have the man of God here to introduce himself and talk about this funny interview that we had yesterday. Welcome, Gerald.
Paul, Marie, Orita, and my good friend. I'm just laughing because I listened to, I watched the interview, and this is my first time coming across the interview, even though I heard people talking about it, but I didn't have the time to go through the interview because I've been busy with a long prayer section, which ended on Sunday. So I already haven't been following the everyday activities in Liberia. But even though I watched the video when journalists went to the home of the former Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia, but I would say this though, it's kind of laughable since the inception of this government. Every time there's something about killing, alleged mysterious death, or burglary, or you find dead bodies in the streets, it's scaring, and it's like, look. And then I listened to Valley Tailing, aka Dust to Dust.
Dust to dust.
And then those of us who stayed in Liberia from around, that was around during the last heat of the war, World War One, World War Two, World War Three, the name Valley Tailing, it's not a strange name. Allies Dust to Dust, that's not a strange name. And those who went to the Unimbo K and Alert and those days still know Valley Tailing. But the name got popular during the World War One, World War Two, and World War Three. So I was looking at the video, and I look at the guy, oh, I've seen this guy before. So in this administration, let's go back a little bit, right? In 2005, during the early stages of the 2005 election, the inner cycle of the now president, most of the guys that I knew who were providing security, or the people that were in his close proximity, are guys I knew from Unimo J. Some of them from Unimo, some of them from Model. So that inner cycle, I had the opportunity, because somebody said they admitted to hiring an ex-rebel. This thing had been an old age situation, long time within the rank and file of different institutions in our country. People who kill people have surfaced, in different administrations. We even go back to Madam Sally when she said, nobody with tinted character will work in my administration. She was making reference to the late Paul Mulva, because many people thought he was going to be the police director because he was part of the interim team. So people thought that this guy was going to be the police director. But after making that statement, he was not hired. She never appointed him. But there were people that we know with tinted character that was there. And so in this administration, there are people we know with tinted character. We see them from NSA to MBR to the Liberia National Police, as far as the EPS. We still see them. So the issue of Valley Taylor coming on to recite a surah from the Quran, Bali language, listen to the director for the Monrovia City Corporation Police.
Thomas Gallo Jr.
Talking about, what is his name?
Thomas Gallo Jr.
Just listen to the man, you will understand. You will know
And,
straight.
and you know Thomas Gallo Senior. you know,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So you hearing this man saying it's a lie from the belly of the devil. What analysis can you come up with? What can you really say to the Liberian people? Even when I listen to just a brief synopsis of that of the Monrovia City Corporation boss, it speaks volume. You see, the guys want to do damage control, they want to do some kind of PR, but they don't understand how these things work. Don't forget, there was this group during the hell days of the 1985, prior to the 1985 election. I was reading somewhere that a group was trained in Sierra Leone that came to Liberia under the banner of the NDPL, that if we do not vote for Samuel Doe or people who will resent Samuel Doe, this group will deal with you. So all the things you see happening, there's no way that Valley Tilling, we cannot say in its totality. I listened to Councillor Verde, but I cannot say in its totality he was on the crime scene or he was not there. But somebody knows something. Somebody knows something. I mean, look at from the allegation of the story with that of Ennis and how this guy been linked, and how, let's look at some of the deaths that have occurred in the country. You learn for maybe married and were maybe younger at that time, but look at the situation with Flanzamington. Look at that situation. Up to now, nobody know what transpired. Look at what happened to Representative what this guy named Lawrence. Who is the driver of that vehicle? Who is the owner of the vehicle?
Whose truck did Lawrence run into?
Yes. And so I mean, we have seen so many investigations and committee being set up, even in the days of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, from the Narcos committee to the different committees, no conclusion to most of those investigations. And so the guys, it's just the same things. Liberians just got to open their eyes. Sometimes people read, but as to whether they forget about these things. So for me, I like to connect scenarios, and you still see a reoccurrence. That's why this country needs a serious change. A serious change.
So, Reverend?
Yes, sir. I know you wanted to go to the biblical aspect of it.
Yeah, I want you to drill us through. This incident occurred few days, over a week now, let's say. And this guy haven't been seen publicly, but they saw him in Ganta at the football stadium behind Jefferson Coach, and then the day after they had a press conference. And he came with his shrill that he decided to pray. But as a man of God, what is it people like Tally, whatever he called, Tilly the general, Bob Naked, the Prince Johnson, what all of these people playing with God's name? Just talk to us. What's going on? Is that how God can forgive people? So me, I can go do bad thing too and start calling his name so he can forgive me?
Let's look at the issue of Milton Bly, because I had an opportunity on so many occasions to interact with Bly. You see, it is incumbent upon all of us as Christians to forgive, right? And God is the final arbitrator of justice for any man or woman. But that does not mean that because we see you with a Quran in your hand or a Bible in your hand, we cannot ask questions. People want to know, to understand the authenticity of, the reality of this forgiveness and this talking about, or this Bible that you are quoting to us, as to whether you have changed. because the Bible says, test our spirit. So we will test you, even myself, to know whether I change. So Milton Bly, I've seen the level of sincerity, because if he was to go back, trust me, man, it was going to happen ever since. If Bly was to go back, it was going to happen ever since. Meaning, this guy control a whole lot of people, ex-combatants. He could persuade the minds of these guys, to start perpetrating evil. As a matter of fact, for him, Bly and myself, on so many occasions, like ERW Radio, my platform, Bly have been the guy raising concern from the days of Madame Salih that the proliferation of ghettos will be a serious problem. He kept saying it over, even whether he's preaching or he was just on a regular talk show, he said it. He said these things were going to happen. As compared to people like Senator Johnson, who have been giving all kind of fake prophecy. As a matter of fact, he was the guy who said that we will go to war. Then he turned around and carried President Weah to the synagogue church, and the fake stage a prophetic word that today the man who said we're going to go to war was seen in the king's palace, eating with the king. I refer to him as the Gehazi of our time. The prophet Elisha had a servant by the name of Gehazi who went after Naaman and said, my master sent me to you. Not fully aware that this man was killed from leprosy, but he went there and collected and came back and lied. And the prophet said, what you did, you will get the result. So he got the leprosy. So Prince Johnson, with all fairness, he is a fake prophet. He's howling beyond the canopy of the gospel. Because on so many occasions, as a man of God, when you stand for truth, you stand for truth. You don't deviate from the truth. If you read the book of Esther, chapter 8, from verse 6 follow down, Esther knew that her people were at the point to be annihilated. She knew at the point of time that she was told that a gallows was set. Look at that of Senator Johnson. Look at the issue of Milton Bly. Bly had been consistent. He stayed in his confines of the gospel. You will not see Bly deviating from the things he said to come back to do something. Our country, the borders are porous. So if Bly was going to do something, by this time we'll see it. But Senator Johnson have been this guy with the inconsistency, but who sit behind the pulpit and propagate the gospel of Jesus Christ with bunch of lies. So he is the Gehazi of our time. You give Senator Johnson time. Anything happen today, you will see him with an AK-47.
The man is already calling for
arm
to protect himself.
Yeah, you'll see him with an AK-47. So people are validated. Watch now. Validated is just like President Weah. Nobody made him with pastor. You cannot see any tangible because there is no scripture references to the things he said. That place is a place to preach his propaganda. So validated and seeing all of these things by looking at our society being gullible, the guys see these things and say, okay, we can use it too. So he said too, he came and read a surah from the Quran.
Right.
Just to kind of send that sentiment out there to people from the Islamic community. But people within the Islamic community, there are people who understand the implication of the Quran.
Yeah.
They understand the implication of the Quran. So the only thing I can say is that even if we call for a thorough investigation on whose administration, this administration is a myth.
Right. So the police, before the others come in, the police After this act was committed, the police came to the public say if anyone have any information, they should inform the police. Right.
Okay.
So Councillor Verdia came up, said yes, he went into details how the operation was carried out. And up to today's date, the police now, the SG of the police were called to the Senate to admit, oh,
Yeah,
say tomorrow. Hold
Paul,
on.
just before you go further, we got a caller on the line.
Right.
Who also says that he got some he's kind of security management or some experience. And he want to give his observation from that video with Valley Taylor. So,
Valley Taylor.
yeah, so let's get the caller. Caller, hello, and where are you calling from, and what's your name?
Thank you for having me, senior brother, as I always call you. And good evening from my side to your fellow panelists. My name is Vitus Igwe. I'm in Nigeria, but I always follow your politics, everything that happens in your country, because I have been there. I'm calling from Munich, Germany. Again, I follow the conference by those people yesterday. I think it's yesterday, yeah, but I follow it. There's something that I see that is not right, that is happening. Sometimes in life, when you see what is happening today in Liberia, it's like this present government have reduced government and the governance to the lowest level. But there are some certain things that happen. I'm in Nigeria. I'm not saying that Nigeria is 100%, no. But there are some certain things that you will see happen in Liberia. It look like even in the community chairman, things like this doesn't happen even in a community. What I'm trying to say, in that press conference, opposition have been accusing Mayor Jefferson Koje that he recruited a former warlord, which he denied several times. But through the conference, I think that they admitted recruiting rebels as a security officer for a country. Being my own background, that I understand that in every security, national security, even private securities, before recruiting somebody, before you involve recruiting somebody, you follow his history. The person background check must be done. You know if he's a gangster, if he went to prison before, if he have killed so many people before. So if I thought that the person was a former rebel that murder people, kill, only that he's a former rebel or he's told or he's a criminal, disqualify him to be part of any security organization in the country. Because you are the one who is guiding the people. You are recruiting. They recruited you to protect the people. And because of your past behavior as a criminal, giving you gun or any security weapons, you can use it to harm people. That is why in security organization, both private and the national, you don't allow people who have a bad record to join such a force. It is not possible to become a police officer in every country. Any country. Once you do what? You have a criminal record. So my first time to see or hear something like that, it is unprecedented. Thank you. That's what I want to say.
Okay. Thank you so much for your input.
Thank you, caller. We will display the number for all of you to call in. And for those of you who are watching us for the first time, kindly share our page and click on the like button so whenever we comes on, you are notified. So my question to you guys here, it been over a week now with the incident. Today the police director came out said that this guy will appear tomorrow at the police station for questioning. And the question is, if our Paul Lord Chilope did something, an allegation was put on me. It's not the police will be the first into my doorstep. They'll take me to the station for questioning. Why are they dragging the thing so much until now? The police director will be put under serious scrutiny from the Senate or threat from the Senate. Now he making it think that this guy should appear tomorrow, 10 a.m. at the police station. Why are they dragging this? It's open to anyone.
Okay, can I come in? Yeah.
Come on.
No, the thing is, I think what we are seeing is the CDC government displaying their usual, oh, the public eye is on this case or on this matter, so we have to like pretend like we are going to investigate it. I think that's the thing going on, and after this week, they're not even going to, mention it because look what happened to the guns. The guns they claim that, opposition brought in. And this is the sad thing. It's really sad, seeing your country like the guy that just called. This guy. I think we're friends on Facebook. Me and he, in the beginning, we usually go through like I'm like, oh, stay away from Liberian, matter, you know. But the thing is that what he said is so true because in Liberia, nothing is functioning. So that's why when I see Liberians like, oh, in Liberia, we are nice with this, with that. Yes, we are nice people, but we're not doing things the way we ought to do. So with coming back to this VAD, Tele VAD, and situation, I think Koji and his comrades they are just doing this. The CDC government just doing it to just mislead the people to think that okay they are investigating or they will investigate, but nothing is going to come out of it. But I really hope this time around something comes out of it.
Okay,
Marie,
let me,
and then
let me,
Marie
let-
comes in. Then with the
Yeah,
what
something.
you make of the after a week they have not arrested this guy. His name was called. Did somebody accuse him? Police have not called him today. The Director General of Police were put under pressure. Now he said, "Oh, the guy will appear tomorrow." What sort of thing is that?
This is what we were trying to say the other time about the security in Liberia. You know, look, just imagine the police director is saying the guy will come. I cannot go further to explain again.
Okay, Remy, talk to us before we move to the next topic.
You know, Brother Cholople, in public relations, we say we tell people on a need to know basis. And I love what the caller said earlier on the vetting process,
Mhm.
how they got validated to be at the Monrovia National, what do they call it? Monrovia City Corporation. What was the vetting process that he went through to get over there? Most especially knowing his track record.
Right.
And Vali Taylor is not the only guy who is in government or working with government that has some tinted character. The current superintendent, who, Liberians, sorry to say this, we Liberians are so gullible to the extent that we always reward evil people. It's like crucified Jesus Christ gave us Barabbas. The current superintendent for Grand Judah, the former senator, now ambassador in Belgium, he another one. I mean, I can go on to name people who still are around, but their track records are still there. So the vetting process, how he got there. This other investigation, we pray and hope that Councillor Gloria Musu Scott, who is a tough woman, will wake up and call for a full investigation. Probably maybe when she start to press this, we might learn that the councillor is on vacation. Maybe she in Ghana or she's somewhere. So in the case of Valley, that's why you see he was not talking too much because it's like he who pays the piper plays the tune.
So, Linfa, and then talk to us, then take us through the next topic.
Oh, we've heard this thing in Liberia all the time that this other case, nothing will come from inside. And this is the culture that we try to train ourselves to, that yeah, things can happen and nothing can come from inside. But again, there is another thing that people say in Liberia. They say every day for rogue, one day for master. And then the other one they say the raccoon know what kind of tree you can do a thing on. You can do it everywhere, but not all three. So every day for rogue, one day for master. I want to insert that. And raccoon know the tree that I can do a thing on, but not all the tree. So they've been doing it. 3 missing balls went where nothing happened. Princess Copper for 4 days, broad day. I was not in the net, broad day. Nothing happened. Auditors die. Nothing happened. Now it's a little girl, a little school girl. Maybe this will be the straw that will break the back of the camel. You know, the camels, it's a strong animal. It can walk fast, it's slow, or you can throw enough low. But because you think the camel can throw enough low, you have to be putting it there, putting it there, putting it there. It not take enough now, heavy, but still it can't talk. But still you're taking advantage. Then you take that last little straw, that last little piece, when you put it there, the whole back break. You say, but the camel can carry all the thing that the small straw broke it back. That's where we are now. And I will tell you, I'm saying all of this to say the body language. By the way, people who read body language or the art of reading body language is called kinesics. Kinesics. So kinesics read people's body and they know the way you look on easy. Because we all got our, like I've been seeing all of you here on this Facebook, and I've seen some of you in real life, So I know if something happened and you are jittering, I will know. You see, I don't have to be professional. So the fact that a press conference was called for the corporate and you got 2 people guarding him, there was the man is now underage. This is a whole man who said he's married, guy learn, he boy learn, he get family, he get children, and God said patience sometimes. You get people like the children, you get people like that child. Yeah, man. No. Sometimes people who the religious people, sometimes you think they go here. You think he will call or face and we can ask him questions? Because there's several questions we'll ask. Yeah. I think God will do that, man. Because it's not fair. Man, like that, look at his world record. He's not yet guilty of this other one, but the world record. I listened to Spoon TV yesterday, the yesterday edition. No, my body was chilling. The kind of revelations they were giving about this guy. Yeah. So, this could just be the straw that break the back of the camel. And this guy had been doing this thing for long, so he thought he could get away with it. But this one, they're not stupid. Look at his face. Look at Jeff Koichi. Koichi is the prime man. The way I read his facial expression that day, he was looking heavily loaded. Yeah. So my people, and again, they want Jeff for fun. Somebody said they took a guy actually to Ganta. They wanted to kill him there, carrying him, and forget when because he messed the whole mission up. But again, because of pressure, they had to save him and bring him. Now they parading around. Now
you think they wanted to do the mosquito style?
Yeah, the general mosquito style.
I believe that's the Nimba.
Yeah, I believe it too.
Honestly, I believe it.
Yeka Koluba said that yesterday. Say they took him because the pressure is on the government, so they brought him back.
They brought him back, and now, okay, Paul. The question you asked as to why it's taking this long for the police to go for the guy. Now the pressure is mounting. So the first thing they did was, look, guys, if we kill the guy, it will be bad. They will not find him. And somebody might discover the body. So what we'll do, let's carry him and do press conference. But the press conference did not work. It didn't help them a lot. So the police said, okay, now we want him, let him come. So the city corporation, I know what they'll do. Kwaji then they say, okay, what Kwaji said in the press conference, if anybody working in that place did anything, then the law take its course. So now they try to get him away from there. Let him be in the police here now. So when he's with the police now will decide. So we all hope to see, and coming tomorrow, right? And they say tomorrow he's supposed to go. So
Yeah,
from
10
tomorrow,
o'clock in the morning.
very good. Then from 10 o'clock, we all will be tuning in to hear what will happen. And so from there, we will now follow the trend of the developments in that particular case, but I can assure the Liberian people, I can assure all of us here on this platform, I can assure people who are listening to us that this other case will not be one of those ones that they say, oh, they want to go and we
I
get
really hope so. To
it will
God, I
not.
really hope. Yeah, I really
Yeah,
hope
trust
this
me, it
case
will not.
will,
Philomena Bususka, the woman was Chief Justice of Liberia. And I know they got Chief Justices around the world who got their confederation, they got a group. She's a member of it, number one. Number two, our foreign partners, they know elections are coming. They will not take this thing easily. They will step in. So she will get support from somewhere. Number three, this lady, I think she got her own network. And so she already said that she will fight the case. She will fight it. Because it's not only a little girl, but it's against her own life. So if this particular case, if nothing comes from inside, then I hang my heart in that nothing can happen in Liberia.
And you know one thing, Linfa, you know one thing. Sorry, but the thing is that our watcher, I think it was OK FM, and she was on that show in the morning, and then there she stated that I think there were two incidents that happened, and she said that she called the police, she reported it to the police, but nothing happened. So now the third incident, the same incident that happened where people try to break into her house and everything. And it's sad because as a citizen, you report such incident and nothing comes out of it. And the third time, she lose her daughter.
So this is for those who watching or for the first time. Kindly share our shows. Click on the like button so when we come on, you've been notified. We also on the online radio. The bottom line radio is 24/7. We're live on it. So you can follow us too on the bottom line radio. We'll display the details. And so Linfa, you did mention about Nimba County. That is, they took this guy to Nimba County and they brought him back. There was a football match on the street of in Ganta, and there was a disabled guy that really got upset. He decided to protest to bring it down. So I want to play the clip, and then I want you guys' view on this and what you think. Watch.
Salah. Why are you angry? Why are you angry? What making you angry? The new people are here now.
Thank you.
Why are you angry?
We are here for development. We get players for this place. This place is a problem road.
Yes.
It's a problem road, not below here. Please let's take it from here now.
So who is waiting to listen to you right now?
You the friend gonna listen to me and want to know who put it here.
So why your action will be here? So when did you plan this action?
I plan the action now. I tell my farm. I tell my farm now. I'm planning action.
Salah, this is Jean Claude.
I tell my country here. The way I'm doing nothing for my farm. That's a counter for. I'm not getting nothing for the campus shop here. I will tell all the show. You continue. Where are you going to tell me? You will help me? You help me to come on the official law. You help me my children go to school, no bishop.
So the wife will help you.
They will be content.
So what's your real name? What's your real name?
My name is Imana Kuyo Sige Sarato from Nimba County.
Imana Kuyo
Sarato Sige Sarato.
Right. This is Liberia. It's election time. And they're going all over the place, putting artificial page on the public street during a basic day to show people because they're running campaign. And this is Jefferson, Kochi, and George. We are That's their work. They say they got the key of Kanta, so they're gonna win election. This disabled guy said something in that video, and I want you guys to access the whole video and see what this guy was saying. I've been disabled. I'm not getting nothing. This place is not, this thing is not development. He went on and on. He started his protest. So I'll start with you, Reverend, then Linford, then Marie, and Orita when she comes back. You muted.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yes, okay.
Okay. Well, that disabled guy is 100% right. I wish most of the people living with disability in our country had the opportunity 12 years ago to do what this guy is doing. To do what this guy is doing. Because 12 years ago, if you check the statistics of the previous administration before this group, no major program to cater to people living with disability in the country. Whether they got victimized during the war, whether they were warlords or so, from the group of 77, we know that the Liberian government and that of the Office of the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia and the Liberian National Lottery has an oversight responsibility for people living with disability. So if you had some program then, by this time, that guy won't be in the street protesting. So he's right. He's 100% right. Then look at this current administration. Look at the current administration. Look at the vice president. Look at the president, who people claim that they love their country. They mean well for the Liberian people. The guy said, if you put this thing here, what sort of development it will bring for my children? Will it get me artificial land? Nothing. So you can understand now that's a political charade propaganda for election. I mean, how can you block a whole street? Gentlemen, ladies, we live in the Western world. Every major election season in this country, when was the last time people blocked the street? When? It is only in our country that these things happen. Only election time will Kochi, will President Weah, or any presidential candidate for that matter will go back a public street. So he's 100% right. Nothing, no program for that man. Besides him, 5 years ago, with 6 years now, what the program that these people can count on and say, this is tangible. Nothing.
Wow. Marie?
Yeah, I've been really looking forward to this topic because I think previous, Jerome and Pork, if you guys can remember, we had a discussion, and I think I brought about people in Liberia who have disability. What are some of the help that is being put in place? And it's like it just kind of like popped in my head to actually kind of like verge for them. But now it's like this is reality. This is what is. They don't have no support from the government. Just imagine the government is taking all of the resources, what it meant to take, and build these facilities and these help centers and these support centers for someone like that is of high disadvantage. They're taking the money and exploiting it, and by building a house doing this, going over there, and that money he spent for that carpet, that money would have built a facility for a very high disadvantage and disabled guy like that. That he will go and he will maybe even be having his carer to take him around and in order to cater to his needs. So he's frustrated, And I think we were saying this the last time I saw Jerome. I brought this topic up. I think I've urged for the people who has disability, and it kind of like they just kind of like pop in my head for me to kind of verge for them. And this is I'm so glad that when I saw that research in the folder, I was like, oh great, because I did talk about these people. I did. I talk about people who is of disadvantage, and the government. For example, look at George Weah, the guy that say he's right hand man for George Weah. I can only talk about that guy because I follow his page. I always make a reference to him because I follow his page on Facebook. This guy is building houses too. Now he on his second home in Liberia. And look at the guy. He doesn't even have his carer with him. He gonna be in a chair, in a push chair. It's very sad. It's really, really sad. And Liberians, if you guys are watching this show, you have to wake up because this is a wake up call. This is reality. This is no joke. For example, look at Prince Johnson. That guy gave me PTSD. I swear to God, that guy gave me PTSD. Because when I go on YouTube, I only see the horrible videos on there.
Right. So Marie said this is sad for Liberians. We need to wake up to reality. It's election year. This is the time that they put in better people to bring Liberia to another level. I will go with Linford, then Burrito can come in. Linford?
I think some of these things are belated, like Gerard said, but it shouldn't be this disabled brother, Emmanuel Kwiwon, to be spearheading such a campaign in a county like Nimba County, of all places. Nimba alone is putting out 2 or 3 presidential candidates in this particular, or would-be presidential candidates in these particular elections. Nimba is endowed with the population, the food-rich county in Liberia, one of them, or if not the most. So Nimba has all of the advantages when it comes to electoral matters. And by virtue of the fact that they are putting out 3 presidential candidates, Jeremiah Kun would be probably, because he has a political party now, the MRD or MTR. Then you got Jeremiah Wapo, and then you got Councillor Tawan Gonglo. Okay, so a country that is opting to lead our country should be proactive in some of these things, to have a government that is tainted with corruption, a government that since it came to power has never done anything substantive, to just go and begin to go around the street of Ghana has been the hottest spot in the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, every crucial meeting is in Ghana. Political parties want to elect or they want to go for convention, it's in Ghana. CPP want to go for this, Ghana. Why Ghana? Because they know that Ghana is a nurturing ground for political activities. And then these people will sit there and allow people like Jefferson Koji to go and block the major economic street. I was in, the last time I was in Liberia was 2016. And I was in Ghana. I came from Sanekwe. In the night, I got to Ghana. I thought it was in the day. They don't sleep in Ghana. I will tell you that. Okay? So economic life goes on throughout in Ghana. Then you will go take artificial carpet and go and block the main streets of Ghana. People who were there, they said it was like a war zone. Where you see all the how you call it, their security people all around were gone. They can't allow you to pass around that area. Okay? And this is a government that will say people should not protest in the street because we will trample on the rights of other people who are supposed to use the street. And Ghana is a border town. People coming from Guinea to come and transact business in Ghana. You go and block the street for complete 2 days. So, like I said, that disabled guy, God just using as an eye-opener to give message to the people of Nimba County that wake up, use your head. Nimba County, you spearheaded the war that came to Liberia that caused the deaths of people. It was all because of you. You people from Nimba County, you are my uncles, I'm talking to you. It was all because of you people that are walking and all around the country, people got killed. People look up to Nimba County to make decisions. You sit there and you, all the politicians, all of you tough people in Nimba, you sit there, or disabled brother came from his farm to come and tell you what to do. This is what you're supposed to be doing. and
Right.
God used that guy. So to conclude on that topic, or I mean on this segment of that particular discussion, this guy sent a signal, a message to the people of Nimba County, yeah, the people of Liberia, because who knows? Maybe next they're going to take our capital, they're going to roll it, and they will end up in Buchanan. So Grand Pastor people, they might be coming your way. Magibi people, they might be coming your way. What economic value does that thing provide for your people? No, let me tell you, life is all about bread and butter. The church where we call the president, who running up and down. At the end of the day, you got to sit down at the table with the tools, with the fork and the knife, and eat. Then you go, you shower and sleep. That's all about life. You do all the yama thing. At the end of the day, you sit down and eat and sleep. It's the bread and butter. I've not seen any president that does not eat. The same way the poor man on the farm can eat. So all about it is our stomach here. Everything we drink in the world, the work, the hard work, we wake up 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, as we're talking, some people stay working. It's all about what?
Right.
Our stomach.
Right.
Yeah,
So Linford,
Paul, wait, I'm finished it. This is a very serious thing. So the people should open their eye. And those are the people I see going around talking about, oh, we'll vote for him. No matter what, this is the best government. No, hard time does not know anybody. Whether you big man or you small man. Hunger does not know anybody. The angry boy is an amputee, man who lost his foot, fighting for your country. And he's coming, he's still fighting. Those are people called patriots, they're nationalists. And we'll talk about nationalism. That's a nationalist. The man who fought and lost part of his body for the country is coming back to tell you that this is not right. Go
great.
ahead.
This is not right. Orita, I want you to take us there because a few things involved here. There was a landslide in Nimba, and then few months ago, sometime last year, there were kino capture with women
Yeah, the kid
and
that
babies.
capsized, it was in my
The,
town. It was in
yeah,
my
the
place.
president have not spoken to anyone in Nimba. He never visited the place. Now, this is election year. They gone to run campaign in Nimba, say they got the key to Nimba County. They blocked the whole street and they started campaigning already. With all of these things, with Nimbadian, we did not wake up to the reality that this president, he actually cut a speech from Nimbadian. And today, now election is coming, they gone to Nimba County, started campaigning. What your take on this?
Paul, I mean, it's the usual thing I always say about Liberia. As long as I'm eating, my child eating, I don't care about anybody. And in a country, we are all one. We are all one, meaning that even if I work hard for what I get, I should, reach out my hand. Because my mother always tell me that when God bless you, stretch your hand to the next man. You don't have to give everything God bless you with, but stretch out your hand. And in Liberia, the only people I see who stretch out their hands are people who, like, the ones who don't have a lot, or the ones who have, and for them they do stretch out them. But the thing that happened in Nimba is sad because in Liberia, the government. My thing is that I don't know how it is in England. I mean, in England, but here in Scandinavia, that rug, that football rug, that man, you guys saw that he roll it. You go right here to the football store, or you can get that rug for depending on the size. And for me to see like a president who promised the Liberian people, told them that I'm one of you. I understand your situation. I know how it feels to go to bed with a hungry stomach. Came to power, forgot the same people. After the election, he forgot, but now he won their vote, and you go and put some kind of rug to make it seem like I'm coming, I'm doing something for you. For me, that is like, I mean, it's the lowest form of being selfish and wicked. I'm sorry, maybe people will say that, oh, I mean, it's a strong word, but I mean, it's wickedness to the highest level to go to, and like Linfa said, it's not just Nibadia, it's like even like all the countries, Liberia as a whole, it's like somebody will come and take food from your table, take food from your children's mouth. They and their children, you will stay on the rain and sun, elect them. They will take all the food. They, their children, their friends and girlfriends will enjoy what is the whole country. They will not even look at you, but when they want your vote, after their turn is coming to 8 a.m., they want your vote, then they come and just like treat you like a dog. Oh, puppy, here's small biscuit here for you. Liberians gotta
Waving your
wake
kid.
the hell up. Yeah, Liberians gotta wake the hell up. Because if Liberians don't wake up, these so-called leaders will keep treating our people like they are. I will just stop right there.
Orator is other words, Reverend. Election is coming. Liberians usually vote for people that are very bad. And these good people come, they kind of pass over there and vote for the bad people. This presidential election that is just around the corner, we have competent people in this race. We have people that earn that all the good things to become leader in Liberia. Tell me or tell us and our viewers. You've been around the block. You covered a lot of things before. This election is another election that if we don't pick the best person to lead us, we doomed. Talk to us and talk to us about your candidate as well.
Myself, yeah. I'm in the race. I hope you are aware.
Oh, okay. Talk to us.
I hope you are aware. I decided to run too.
Right.
Yeah, and anybody can run.
May I ask
anybody
what
can run.
county or district?
He
And
running for president, he said.
I'm running to be president of the
Oh,
country.
what?
Yes.
Okay.
But here's the thing, reality. This election, like I said some time back, I said the election in Nigeria is a litmus test. The outcome of what happened in Nigeria will be a litmus test to what will happen in the South region. What happened in Sierra Leone in the coming months in terms of election will also serve as a litmus test to what will happen in the South region. Let's come home. Liberia. We have people in the race with track records, good track records that we can go back to. And we have some people in the race that you cannot give a wheelbarrow factory to run. I repeat, you cannot give them. If I had a wheelbarrow factory, I won't give it to them to run it. Not today, not next year, not even years to come. I won't do it. We see people in the race who had an opportunity to be there, who saw concession agreement, but those concession agreement, today, we can't point to anything tangible to say, this is it. This is it. I mean, the concession agreement was in this county. See the Benny or the beneficiaries, what they benefited from this concession agreement. We don't see anything. They come in now with T-shirts. They come in with money. They come in with different slogans. And they want your vote. You cannot sit and look at aspire people. You see them. They'll soon expire. But you want a continuity process of these people. Say no to them. You cannot sit, Paul, to see people who don't even value anybody's life. People yesterday who many saw down the line. And today, by God's grace, we see them in administration. You go to their own towns and villages, you can't see anything tangible. Or the slum communities they say they're coming from, they refer to themselves as the master's children. They speak big grammar form. They know everything. 12 years ago, they were sitting on the substitute bench. We gave them 5 years to perform. The performance level cannot even be compared to kids' soccer match. The result from kids' soccer match, because these are people who said they have the opportunity to play. Give them the opportunity. Nothing. But when you look in the race today, you can see an Alexander Cummings. You can see the tangibles. You can see that if this guy is elected, if Mr. Cummings is elected as the next president of Liberia, you can see that, Paul, that teachers' salary will commensurate their work, that the different sectors in our country will improve because the track records are there. As compared to people who we see in the race today. If Liberians want a continual process of abject poverty, prostitution to be increased, men should turn another men around before they give them jobs. If this is what they want, then they can settle for this for the next 6 years. You understand? For the next 6 years. To tell you that, Paul, these people do not have lieutenants who have contributed to any sector of the society, even where they live in the diaspora. That's why most of them who went into government, they became flunkies. So now they on the air, they're batching the same administration that they thought they were going to be the heroes and heroines. But unlike Cummings, when you look, you can see a man like Langford. If Langford went to Ministry of Information today, I can put anything on the line. He will perform. If you put him in maritime, he will perform. If you say Mary go to, or Orita will go to the children and division at the Ministry of Gender or somewhere, you can see when people, I work with people for a long time, so you can see the way people talk, their passion for something, the passion for country is more than the passion for the love for Mr. Cummings or the love for Paul Choloplay. You will see it. But not these greedy people. We saw them yesterday. We all were on the ground. They never managed a wheelbarrow factory before a shoe shine box. But today they find themselves in government and they have gotten homes overnight. So what the Liberian people need to do is say, hell no to suffering. Hell no to going to bed 8 o'clock in the night. Hell no to being afraid, to be afraid to wake up. Paul, 4 o'clock, market women used to start getting up, getting ready to go water, getting ready to go to Gorbachev market for the market.
Mhm.
Try it now. You'll find your body on the dump site and nothing will come out of it. So when I some other men of God are so afraid, let me say this. There are pastors, people who claim to be men of God. They see evil in the country. They don't speak. They support evil. They're supporting evil. I know bishops who sit within this government. They see the evil. They can't say a word. And I know preachers in America, Liberian pastors in America, who will look at me and call me a political pastor. Unfortunately for them, maybe they don't know me like how Langford know me. I was in the media for years. I stayed in the country. So will I be so happy to see evil coming? And I embrace that evil because Cummings is from Maryland and I'm from Maryland, a Grand Crew, and Cummings is bringing evil. I would say it to him to his face. His security, like they can come for me, I will say it. You understand, Paul?
Yeah.
So unlike Cummings, for me, it's not a hating thing. If you watch different documentaries or preachers in Nigeria, they took a side. You know why they took a side? They took a side because they're tired. They took a side because they don't want what is happening in the north to spread throughout Nigeria. They took a side not because they are Christians. They took a side because they are Nigerians and they want to change. And some of us believe that change is in Cummings. Some of us believe that if Cummings become president of Liberia or given an opportunity to be president of Liberia, I can bet you my life, he become president, he go contrary, you will hear me, Cummings will hear my mouth. He ain't go spend time, he will hear me, I will say it. I don't care whether the Cummings Association or Cummings family come and say stand down. I will never stand down, never. So we want to change. We want this change. We want it so bad. I don't think a Linford who I know want to retire in the Netherlands. None of us here want to retire here. We want to be home. You know, way back when a crew, because my mother is a crew woman, when a crew person get old and they grew up in the interior, they come to Monrovia. When they get old, their body can be itching to go home. So in the morning,
all the old people all the old people can do that. They want to say
the family don't want this person to go home. In the morning, they will come. They will look at you for a long time. Oh, excuse me, in my dialect now, they will say, oh, but Lenford. And then it's not Creole. Time, you know, they're doing it because that person cannot remember anything. All they feel is that they're home. The peace that we have, the enjoyment that is in Liberia, anybody can say whatever they want to say. You can never find it anywhere in the world.
I tell you, I'm
want to change.
Liberians want to change. We all want to change. I don't want to retire here. I want to be walking down Monrovia Broad Street with my shirt open and nobody harass me. Like when we were kids, we used to go talent show 3 o'clock in the morning. We roaming around the whole of Monrovia. We go home anytime we want to. It's the thing that we want for our children and grandchildren. We want peace. We want a better Liberia. So I know you guys, we've been here for a while, but something, Orita, I want you to talk about this because it's something to your concern. Are we Liberian patriots enough? Are we nationalistic, or we just a funny kind of people, including myself, who want to be pastor today? I want to follow General Bob Naked, and then tomorrow I change my mind. Talk to us. Are we patriot Liberians? What's happening?
To be honest, no. But the past 5 years, under Georgia leadership, I start to see that some Liberians are starting to adapt, you know, in the role of being nationalistic. Because we who are living in, the diaspora, I live in Sweden, and I see a lot of foreigners, not just African, you understand? The Swedish man, he have this thing called man måste hålla om, sitt hus, meaning that in English it's like you have to, stand behind your own.
Can you put that in crew for us, please?
Yeah. Tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah. Nope. And the thing is that, so you see a lot of foreigners, because the thing is that the people that have system, they follow the system. So, you follow it. But when push comes to shove, as a foreigner or whoever you are, not only like foreigners from Africa or the Middle East, and other foreigners from even America or whatever, once you come to their country, you don't follow their rules and regulations, every sweet, they will join together and they will come with force to tell you that now you are crossing the line. Do what you're supposed to do here. And it's the same thing, not just their country, when it comes to their people, their neighbors, everything. But we Liberians, is this thing where we will be preacher, we'll be lawyers, and then we'll be police officer for others. But when it comes to our brothers and sisters, we crucify them. Meaning that in the Liberian society, individuals don't try to work within the collective so we can all work towards the betterment of Liberia. And that's where for me I feel like we are lacking on every level. Like I think Mr. Logan, I was looking in the charges, a little while ago. The thing concerning like the little the this man, Mrs. Gloria Scott, her daughter, he wrote I mean, he commented like, where are the mothers? Under Joshua, I see that the rape cases, our daughters and children are being, where are the mothers? Where are the women? You trying to tell me that a mother who carried a child for 9 months, you trying to tell me that if you come out to speak up, somebody will kill you? And for me, that's not being nationalistic, because when a leader like Joshua, who is the leader, when he sees stuff like that happening, he said, but hey, the people who are affected, they're not saying anything, so why should I?
But Orita, I'll hold you there. Remember as Vatoba wrote a book? The women came out to go after our Vatoba, but another woman is killed. They all silent.
It was
So
a foreign woman. Our mind sister were
yeah,
also
they were a Jamaican woman. They were on the street. They were protesting. They chased her out of the country. So now another Liberian woman is killed. That particular women group, they just silent. And before we go to the rest of the panel, I just want Linford and Rita to please take us through on this little post here. Linford?
The face you see on that poster is Mr. Alexander B. Cummings. He's a standard bearer of the CPP. And let me give you a little backdrop. From the time I started to know myself, all we know, even finding myself in Europe, for me, I think it's an accident. Because when we were growing up and we wanted to travel, the only place we wanted to go was America. I will take a little down. So yeah, I'll hold on. So yeah.
You got a caller take Orita take us through. Well,
Orita can take through.
Yeah, like everybody can see, Mr. Cummings will be coming to Scandinavia, and every Liberians have been reaching out to in Norway, Denmark, Finland, and even Sweden. I tell Liberians living here that Mr. Cummings coming, this is actually the first time in history a man who wants to, become president of Liberia coming to Liberians living in Scandinavia. And this is something is so important, and Liberians who have been reaching out to, they too understand, they are happy. They say, oh, it's good at least so we can ask our question. So Mr. Cummings will be here between the 14th to the 16th of April. A meet and greet the 14th and the 15th. It'll be a town hall event. And where Liberians, because all Liberians, Sedition, UP, LP, and even Tawangonglo people, everybody coming. Because I tell Liberians that this is it's a Liberian thing. Not just, I know Mr. Cummings is like a political leader, but this is the first time in the history of Scandinavia. Because like Nimba was saying earlier, every time a leader who wants to become a president, it's America. It's America. It's America. Yeah. It's like we are the forgotten, we are the forgotten, group children. Of like children. Exactly, the forgotten children. So, and this was something, in Germany, I told Mr. Cummings, and I was glad. Even like the ANC Euro chapter, when they pushed for it, I was glad. And when it finally happened, everybody I've been talking to, they are positive, People have their questions. Sedition want to ask Mr. Cummings all sort of questions. Independent, and Liberians who don't belong to a party. Everybody just want to come and ask that question and see who Mr. Cummings is. So from there now, then they can say, okay, I've seen, then I know.
Okay. It was actually coincidental because my Liberian group here, we got besides our Liberian group chat, on that chat place, we got some level of sports and politics and whatever. So when I posted our video there, people came, oh, ANC people, I've been chatting in the background, and people are asking whether if they go to Sweden, whether the ANC will launch there and this and that. As we're talking and chatting in the background, we've been on it. So a lot of people are getting interested. But we got a caller on the line from Norway, so we'll go to that caller and hear from her. Hello, caller, and I know this is Sis Dolly Nelson. Am I right?
Yes, you're right. Dolly Nelson, yeah, you're right.
Okay. What do you have for us tonight?
No, that was before you guys went into the posters. I was going to talk about the women in Liberia or women of Liberia. And this is something I always say. And people will come at me or come down at me for that. Liberian women are self-hate. This is a fact. This is reality. Whether people want to believe it or accept it, that's a fact. We do not like ourselves. And those are also chose to like ourselves, we are called names. Now, we have seen all the rape cases that goes on in Liberia, the killing. We have seen so many things abused. I mean, we have seen it for the last 5 years. We have seen it. We have a female vice president. We have women in the House of Senators for cities. We have the minister for gender is a woman. No, none of them were outraged for any child that has been molested or abused or killed. But when Aban Papa wrote a book where a man himself described his wife to him, he only did say word for word what he said for his wife. And praising his wife, she's so good, that's why he married Liberian women. Man got on the street. That was talking about people. People should learn things for themselves. When the people of Liberia are tired of suffering, they will stand up. How do we have the family people and say, you just got to talk with them, just got to convince them? No, you don't convince grown women and men. You convince them and children. You water them. But for me, it's not strange to me. When I see these things happen in Liberia, it's not strange because even women that live and wear from Liberia, see you want to do the one another before they want to Liberia. I'm sorry, but if we expect women to stand and speak the white woman in Liberia, it will never happen.
Okay. Thank you so much for your contribution, Sis Dolly Nelson from Norway. And I think we were transitioning already. So just to give my take on this women issue. You see, the first thing you got to look at is we got women in women. All women are not the same. My mother is not like the rest of the women. Because I know my mother. She's my hero. Okay? And like most of you good women in Liberia, we are not the same. I mean, we all bear the name women. The same way we all bear the name men. But all men are not equal. We are not the same. Okay? Not all men are men. And not all women are women. I will be frank about that. With no disrespect. I'm telling you this to say that, you got to look at the characters of women that we're talking about here. There are people, no, my mother, I can't replace her. But there are certain women that I can replace. I say this to say that not all women are women. I'll repeat that again. You got people like Judy Andy, who I have known, with no disrespect to her. The first time I got to know her was from Tobotan, from Dotan to Taylortown. And personally, I work with her, Judy Andy. I'm calling her name on the show. I'm not saying the same. I'm responsible for what I'm saying. Judy Andy, I work with her. I was the health reporter for my station. I was reporting for health ministry from my station at Sunday. I work with Judy Andy on several campaigns, on the polio campaign. Dr. Peter Como, who was representative, senator, I know where he stayed at. We flew a helicopter. So I know exactly what Judy Andy stands for. She stands for money. Money is Judy Andy. You give Judy Andy money today, she will do anything for you. So when you think about people like that, when we are wife is in the media and he knows that it's degrading, so he will call and say, look, or Judy Andy will call, not even we will call. Judy Andy will call. I know her. She'll call. Oh, Mr. President, all the things they talking about your wife, we can demonstrate. Give her some money, call few women, few hungry women like her, and they get in the street. So we're not talking about Liberian women. So when I hear people generalize and say Liberian women, it's not all Liberian women. No, listen, we got decent women in Liberia, including my mother. A woman who did not go to school but have been midwife since 1971. She has given birth to children, grandchildren, and they respect her for that. So you can't generalize them. You can't say all women, but those women, we got to call them by name. That's why I'm calling Judy Andy me. I said Judy Andy. JULIEENDEE. I'm pronouncing it. I'm spelling it. I said Judy Andy. She can get me anywhere. Those are the kind of women we're talking about. Those are not women in Liberia. So we can't generalize them. To you, good women of Liberia. I am saying it from above. It's my opinion. It's not the opinion of Patron. To you, good women of Liberia, we know you sympathize with Madame Gloria Scott, you sympathize with the mother of Princess Copper, you sympathize with all the other kids that have been molested, all the women that they killed, that they raped and killed. I know you sympathize with them, but you do not have that power. The government that be does not respect your power. If the real group of women, the serious women in Liberia get in the street now, you see what they'll do to them. Or Judy Andy will go and get the girlfriends of the ministers and all the people put in the street, few of them, and then they go and they say Liberian women. No, they are not the Liberian women. I am saying they are the Judy Andy group. We get the Liberian women, the serious Liberian women, but they will not respect them. They will tear gas them, they will beat them. We have seen it before. So you Liberian women, we apologize to you when we generalize all of you and say Liberian women are not serious. I am apologizing to you people, okay? We're not talking about the serious ones. We're talking about those ones who live for their belly.
So Linford said they got women before I bring Mary and the Reverend in. Well, the thing is, Liberia, we love ourselves, including my president. I'm going to pull a little clip up, and then I'll have the Reverend and Marie talk about this. There's a Ghanaian footballer that sadly killed in the earthquake in Turkey. And this guy from influential Liberia page, where I got this information from, our president donated 10,000 United States dollars to this guy family. Now, there's other footballers that play for Lone Star Lone President Weah. They didn't get a dime from him. And this is why I asked Urito the question, are we patriotic enough? Now, JFK Redemption Hospital, there's no paracetamol. But the president was able to give $10,000 to another millionaire footballer who tragically got killed. So this is what influential Liberia page posted. Just have a look, and Reverend and Marie, you can take me through this. Reverend?
Linford, Brother Choloplay, you're talking about Christian Atu that died just quite recently in somewhere in the Turkey and the earthquake, Christian Atu. You see, even when he died, look at the role the government played. The government played an active role. To tell you how deceptive this president is, let's go by. I guess you are familiar with Coach Pampin. Coach Pampin was like a mentor, football mentor to President Weah. When was the last time he had a program to even memorialize Coach Pampin? And peace be to the ashes of the late Christian Atu, a man who did something that he, President Weah, have not done or never did in his country, neither in Clarendon. Christian Atsu had a foundation. All the time he was playing football was given to the less fortunate. The less fortunate. Not from his town or his village. Kids in Ghana who never had parents, orphanage, was building a big school. Something that we had an opportunity to do more in Clarendon, in Gibraltar, or other places, or even the West Point. You stretch your hand way abroad, but you couldn't do it for Coach Pamping. You couldn't even do it for other soccer players that died. What a shame. You know, this guy loved publicity, or his people, I don't know what they get in his hair, or how they tell him how you understand publicity. So it's sad. They say charity begins at home and abroad. I haven't seen the president. So when you were talking about Christian Atsu, my mind go as far as back to Coach Pamping. That Coach Pamping was Weah mentor, a good friend to him. Show me something that you did to memorialize Coach Pamping. Like what other footballers who died. Nothing. But you sent $10,000. Let's leave that, man. For me, it's not even a news.
Are we Liberian love our country Liberia, or we just those kind of Liberians that we just go with everything? Redemption Hospital, a lot of hospitals don't have paracetamol. Marie, talk to us.
To be honest with you, first of all, I'd like to give a very great thank you to Lenfor for pointing out great women as well among the Liberian women. I really appreciate that very, because there is good women and good men as well among the Liberians, which they don't really kind of like value them because they are very quiet and because they are kind. So thank you for that. Okay, going back to this question Paul just asked in regards to what this guy doing now with that $10,000. That's but we've been on the show now going for 2 hours. I think the second topic was about a disabled guy that is running with his clutch in his hands. That $10,000 can be donated, like I said earlier, to a facility. I mean, I've been out of Liberia since I was a young girl. I don't even know how it looks like or all of that, but trust me, what is going on, most especially, is like what Jerome said earlier. They're just going to put anybody in the house because they say, we don't care. We don't care. That they just go there. No one's gonna care. Look what Josh Weah just done. $10,000. And the guy is a football. The guy family already got money. It was just by accident he did his travel, and that happened. No one planned for earthquake to happen in Turkey. But right now the election time is going on, and he made that move. That was a very silly move from George Weah. It was very silly. As a citizen for Liberia and for the UK, that was a silly move. He shouldn't have never done that. And he should have put in the young, little, disadvantaged little girls, little boys first. Should have put in their needs first. Then maybe if he wanted to render his hands to say, I want to support Syria and Turkey in this crisis, there's going to be a better way that he was going to do it. He was going to, the way he always flying out of Liberia in his private jet. I think he should have put enough petrol in the private jet and fly to the parents and go and tell them sorry. Not to give our money. That, for example, my mother always send money back home. Right. Even you, Paul, I know you always send money back home. If you all of us, my grandmother passed over now, so I don't think I'll be sending money down there anytime soon. But It's very sad to see George Weah making that moves. It's very sad to see George Weah, right hand man, building another 5-story building of house. I keep saying this thing. This is real. This guy's on Facebook is showing off his house. He and his wife. I'm serious. I've never seen Rashid Rahman doing that. Rashid is right now. I think it's someone he's fighting. Brett is it and Norway whatever it is that they're doing. Joe Biden, all these war leaders, and George Weah just left, and he came down to the National Assembly, and he's doing something like that. What is Biden going to do about this? This thing, Joe Biden should watch this clip for me. He's wrong. George Weah is eating our money.
Okay. Joshua is eating our money. Guys, we've been here for the 2 hour mark. So let's go around the table and give two minutes of little, to summarize what all we did here. And then we'll close off with one of the latest music that the young boys are made in Liberia, that when you let people, they fool us, they do, so that music will take us home. So, Gerald, we'll start with you.
Well, like always, I want to say thank you to the team in Europe. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Whenever I'm available, I would love to come here and we all can compare notes, share ideas to reawakening the spirit of our people. Liberians are patriotic people, and the issues that we are discussing or the things we talk about today, I hope is going to serve as a wake-up call. What we as Liberians who find ourselves here need to do is to position ourselves, pick up your GSM phone, call your family members back home, tell them our democracy is on the edge now. We are at a crossroad. What we do today has the propensity to sway us in a positive direction or a negative direction. So ask your family members, ask them, say, Lord, do the right thing. If you do the right thing today, you're gonna you will be the beneficiary of what you do today. And the best thing to do is to vote right. Like always, thank you guys so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's good having you here. Marie?
Oh yeah, thank you guys so much as well. Thank you everyone for giving me the opportunity as well. Just what Jerome just said, to come here. I mean, I don't really know that much about the Liberian politics, but I've been here now for going to 5 weeks, and I have learned a lot. And I just keep coming back, because I so much want to know more about my culture. Yeah, it's a great opportunity all the time. I always look forward to the shows. Um, look forward to the discussion. Look forward to seeing you guys, beautiful people as well. It's not always looking forward to the topic all the time. I always look forward to see you guys on the camera and see the faces, and that's another healing for me as well. So it's always great to come on the platform. So it's lovely. It's lovely to sorry. It's I'm very grateful. Sorry, for you guys to have me on your platform.
Yeah. Rita?
It was a good show, and oh, excuse me, guys. It was a good show, and I hope we keep voicing the ill in our country, and we shouldn't see it as, oh, we cannot live things that are wrong in our in the Liberian society because, oh, what this person or that person will feel, because a lot of the stuff that are going on is due to the fact that the Liberian society, the togetherness is not there, and like when Sis Dolly said what she said about Liberian women, I don't think she was going at the fact that there are no good Liberian women. But the thing is, let's be honest. Let's be honest. I'm a mother, me alone here in Sweden, because the people country is so advanced. Anything that happened in any of my children's school, I sit, in front of this computer, straight. I contact mothers. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we don't have to go on the street to protest, but Mothers join, even some of these mothers who they are like, they are rich. For them, they feel like, but I can, I don't need to be a part of that. But as long as they got to do with kids, they come together. Even if they cannot contribute their present, they contribute resources. So, but in Liberia, it's not like that, because if Liberia, okay, if the women were together, in that sense to say, okay, when it comes to our children, when it comes to we women, our well-being, things that have been happening these 5 years, if Liberian women, every time something happened that go against, the children, the women, I bet you, I can put my left hand on chopping board. Joshua and the government, we're going to say, the women there, they see everything we're doing. Oh, I mean, there were women, the women who saw to it that a peace deal was created for the war. Am I lying or not? Our mothers went and, football field, they didn't think of. So when women come together, great things happen. So yeah, there are wonderful women in Liberia. I got some aunties, some like sisters who, they are wonderful. Like Linfa said, there are women in women. But sometimes you cannot keep quiet. For me, I'm a woman. I live in the next man country. When I see something, I talk. And when you are talking against ill, God protect you. So Liberian women, all my mothers, my sister, my auntie, you don't be afraid. As long as you guys are talking for the good cause of that nation, God will bless you. There is no government in Liberia that will kill all women, or that will even start by killing women to scare you. You stand up. You stand up and just speak. Say no. Our children, the situation we are in is enough. We now want to be in it. And change will come. That's what I have to say. And thank you all for for a great show.
Great. Yeah, Linfa, this is the show. Talk to us.
Well, on the average, I think it was a great show. Uh, it was a great show, and all of the things are happening in Liberia. We always talk about it, um, no matter what. They say if you go on the farm to draft the bird from the rice, you will continue to be busy until the night falls or until the bird stops coming. But if the bird does not start coming, or the birds do not start coming, then you will continue to work. That's what we're doing. And this is a piece of job that we've committed ourselves to do, um, no matter how we do it. And this is our way of contributing. And so we hope the incident with the Madam Gloria Scott case will be brought to, like people normally say, logical conclusion. And this time around, it should not be swept under the rug. And concerning this nationalism that even dragged in the women issue, you know, it is a certain that our president will take the country's resources and use it at will. I mean, just anyhow. And it's all because Liberians have not been standing up. It's all because this president has tested the resolve of Liberians, and he knows that it's weak, like elastic, and so he can do anything. This is a president who took uh, the country's resources to go on 48 days spree, watching football match and going from country to country. The money that he used that time, how many hospitals could get drugs from that? We talk about women. Infant mortality is still one of the biggest killers among women in Liberia. I mean, or childbirth mortality. I'm a victim. Okay, I lost my eldest daughter in 2009 to childbirth. I mean, she died as a result of childbirth, and nothing is being done. You build hospital, no medicine in the hospital.
Linford?
The reception gone probably.
So while we wait for Linford, I think 6:30 wanted to call in. My number is on 6:30 if you want to. Linford, you muted.
You can hear you, Nimba.
My internet was dropping, so I just but talking about the women issue. You know, every time something happens, especially when it concerns women, there's a lot of comments on the internet. And I will promise anybody here, I'm an internet freak. I've got more than 15 different websites, social groups that I'm a member of. I read comments, I argue cases on all of those sites. So I know when I argue about anything, I know exactly what I'm saying. This women issue, Dolly is taking it personal with me. When she made a comment, I did not come and report to her comment. I was rather trying to support what she said. I said there are women in women. You know, generally, when something happens, they say, oh, Liberian women. Well, if you listen to Spoon show yesterday, Yeke Kolwa was taking on the Liberian women that they should come out. He was even threatening to react to them. If they open their mouth, he will react to them. He said Liberian women, he did not distinguish. I am trying to distinguish. I am saying there are some good women still in Liberia. Okay? So I did not mention you that you will take the phone and tell me that you don't care about my mother. I did not mention your name. You go back to the tape and read it and listen to it. I did not mention your name. I was reacting to the general statement that people make that Liberian women are not standing up. If you look at the scale, how many Liberian women will be able to take a phone and call George Weah or call any other minister for them to make impact? There are very few. And the few influential ones are the ones pretending to represent Liberian women. And those are the few influential ones that I'm here. Why you think Judy Andrews is my very, very good friend? Okay? There's a feedback. Somebody explain something. Please lower it. Please lower what you playing. So why you think I will go personally for Judy Andrews? She's my personal friend. She has not done anything bad to me. She must have never had any. She's my pet. If I take a phone now and call her, I got her number. If I take a phone and call her, she'll answer. But why you think I went for her? Okay? Because I know. That's why I gave example.
So Linford will have a caller on the line.
Hold on, Paul. That she will take a phone and call me back and try to explain to her, and then she tells me that she doesn't care for my mother. Yeah, but nobody needs to care for my mother. But okay, I am pointing out people in the society who I respect, women. So to take a personal with my mother, I did not mention her name. And if you read all her comments there, I did not reference her. I said people are all on it's a glaring fact. People are all on the social media.
So Linford, we got a.
Yeah. You are muted, Paul.
We have 6:30 on the line. She wants to say a few things, and then we can close up. 6:30.
Yeah, Paul.
Can you guys hear her?
The fact of the matter is that most of us have comprehension problem, and so when someone says something, we're quick to say we're quick to put it in our own way we think and do things. When I called, I said we Liberian women are self-hate, and that is a fact. That's the problem we have in our community. We hate to accept the fact. So when someone says the facts, they take your voice and twist it around. There's nothing in my sentence that I said Liberian women are not good women. I said we are self-hate. And when some of us try to love ourselves, we are called names. I know how many rallies I have supported in Liberia. To even get the women to come out, these are everyday women. You don't need to be in government. You don't need to call George Weah. These are things that have been going on for the past 5 years. You call women to get on the street, you send money, people will still sit home. But when it's a foreigner, forget about it, be clear we are. When it's a foreigner, Liberians know how to talk for foreigner, but not themselves. So when people start to make it personal, my mother, I didn't talk about your mother. I don't care about your mother. I'm talking about.
I did not talk about you either. when I made my statement, I never mentioned your name. No. Me, let's get it straight. I did not mention her name. We are on the platform here. I did not mention her name. So she takes the phone back to tell me I mentioned my mother because that's my first reference. Among the millions of women in Liberia, including you, my mother is my reference. Because I know her better. So you do have to take the phone and call me back and tell me that you don't care for my mother. I did not mention your name in my
Sis
statement.
Dolly, it's good that you clarify. Linford, she just called to clarify things
Yeah,
here.
but
And I
what she
think
means that she doesn't care about my mother. If I should make reference to any woman, I will make reference to my mother because that's the first woman I ever met in my life. Okay? I don't care about you either. So why are you telling me about you don't care about my mother? I made my reference. Okay?
Linford, so
yeah. No.
you made
Linford,
your point.
I did not twist her word. I did not twist her word. I did not twist her word. No, but she doesn't have to come here and she repeat that thing she said to me on the phone. I don't care about my mother. You can't care about you too. I don't care about you too, darling.
So Linford,
get that straight. Okay? Get that straight. I'm not child. I'm 60 years old. I'm your older brother. You should respect me and you respect my mother. You don't can sit down here and tell me you don't care about my mother.
Linford,
I don't care about you.
Linford.
She's my sister. We're talking in the background.
Okay.
You know with that one right here. Then that's me. That's me, Linford. That's how I operate. I tell you straight to your face. At the end of the day, we'll fix it. Simple. She told me bowling, and I told her bowling. Finish.
So
I'll talk to you, darling, after the show.
Okay, you can talk that. That's your sister. You can iron that up. I mean, I don't think we accept this on the show. When somebody call, they made a point. You can go at it. So I think it's wrong. We shouldn't do that. Listen,
I'm not trying to support what she said about Liberian women, you know, the way they behave. So, and just that general perception about Liberian women, you know, that they you know. So I try to just make, but then she takes the phone and calls me back. And I try to explain to her, she now understanding that she said, you can't care about your mother. What?
Right. Okay, Linford.
When I use my mother, I use her as a reference because that's the first woman I ever met in my life.
Linford, let y'all can talk this on the scene. And the show was good. Guys, for those who for the first time following us, I would say my apologies for the interaction. It's not how it's supposed to be. We'll talk this behind the scene. And Gerald, you did well.
Comprehension.
Linford.
It was a nice show, folks. Those of you monitoring the broadcast, these things do happen in radio and TV, so it's a usual beat. Says Dolly, Brother Linford will catch up as family, and don't twist the reaction at radio. These things will happen. Linford spent longer time in radio, has spent longer time in radio and TV. These things are usual beat. They will always happen.
But you know, Gerard, you know, in the newsroom, if the news is coming on at 7 o'clock, the last 30 minutes, nobody, no friend there, nobody get friend. Of course, each other. The editor will slap somebody.
I'll tell you one joke before I leave, right? I was supposed to do one program, a repeat broadcast of my religious program. And then, peace be to the artist, the late police director, Paul Bova. He called me and I called him in the morning. I said, Lord Chief, I did the morning edition. I can't do another show tonight. I'm tired. Furthermore, I need to get on a motorbike to come. I can't even drive myself. That tell you that I'm tired. And he said, oh, my man, you can't, you fire. So I started laughing. I said, you can't fire me. Then I can't fire me. I'm not coming nowhere. And we went out there. He said, you will see, you will see. So I got first. I got on the motorbike and I went to the station. And we had an heated argument. He said, my man, if that before, I will take care of you. I said, oh, those days were just the day. You can't take care of me now. I can take care of you tonight. I can take care of you the crew way tonight. And people came between us. I walked outside. I started laughing. I said, hey, I got GMO. My own GMO, why you get invest for? And the same thing I used to do there. My own, I don't use that GMO. So I think says, Dolly, you can understand the line. And Linford is 100% right. Judy Andy is money. It's like he who pays the piper plays the tune. And thank God for some of our sisters out here and Orita, Marie, they all said the same thing. that the women in Liberia need to stand up. Look, I personally got some issues with Lema Bowie. The people who actually made it to go were the women who were sitting at the Jane Springfield crying. Today, how many programs are there catering to those mothers who made Lema Bowie today? Nothing.
See,
It
they
was those
devalue.
mothers.
They don't really want to pay attention to
You
this
know,
kind of.
it
They
was
want
those
to pay
mothers
attention to the one
linked
that are
for
very
you know the
proud.
story. It was those mothers who went to the conference in Ghana and stripped themselves naked. It was not Lema. But today people hail them. And today, even here in America and in other parts of the world, the women supposed to get up and stand up and start making some serious noise. Because when we were going through the war, Paul, it was the mothers who were in the palm bushes, the rubber bushes, looking for food in the cassava farm.
Yep.
But today, Madame Sally didn't get the laurel as what? Heroes and heroines. They were not the actual people who gave us peace. Those mothers who were sitting down at the different refugees camp praying, and the mothers at the Jane Springfield. But today they steal the show. I mean, they stole the show from these women, the women from Witness, all those mothers, the old people, they use them and they become heroes and heroines. And you know, that's why sometimes I stay away from the media a little.
No, but
Some
to
of
be
these
quite
people
honest
are
with you,
can't get
Paul,
on the air.
to be quite honest with you, I understand what Lenford and Jarun are trying to say, because if you do a very, very deep research, the women's that are very humble, the ones that are very kind, most especially that war, like my grandmother, she was never really valued. She was always undervalued, but she was a very nice woman. But she wasn't really in the spotlight.
No.
They don't put them in the spotlight. Because they are kind, they are quiet, so they kind of step on them. So the ones that are very feel that they feel. And what I always say to people who has high confidence, those you're just trying to show me that you have so much weakness in you. Any woman or a man come to me, I talk in both, because I'm an equality type, because I got a girl and a boy. So I always talk a girl and a boy. So any man and a woman come to me with a very high confidence, I just kind of look at them and just laugh, because I say you got so much weaknesses in you that you cannot even face, and you're trying to be overconfident. So women who are not overconfident, those are the ones that undermine, and those are the ones that is at disadvantage, and that's what Lenford was trying to point out. That I got what he was trying to
Right,
point out.
right. So let us conclude. And I say it was a good show.
Mr. Cholupe, before you conclude, I think Sis Darling, you gotta come and be a part of this forum and contribute immensely to the growth of our
I
country.
think so.
Yeah, we need you to come on here
Yo,
and
she's been here
bring
many
some of
times.
those.
She's
Yes,
always
yeah, that's what I was about to say, but I didn't want to
So,
interrupt you. Yeah.
Sis Dolly, you listening? There's a special appeal from Gerald that you come on the show and then you have a special place on the show. We know it's your show, so we welcome you. So I think
Oh,
there's a message from her, Gerald. So I think there will be a special edition for the show for her to be added on it.
I did. Oh,
Okay. So we'll talk this, and I think it was a good show. Everybody made a good contribution, including Sis Dolly. She said a lot of good things too. And her brother, they both live in Norway. That brother and sister thing, they will talk that behind the scene. And Sis Dolly, I will get to you after the program as well. It was good. You want to say something, Orita?
yeah, I just want to make an announcement because Linfa was alluding to it earlier. Tomorrow, I will
Oh yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
a Swedish midwife, and we will be discussing maternal mortality. And maternal mortality is like the major cause of death among women. In
How?
Liberia, I think 20, let me just think so I don't get my statistic wrong. 29% of women die within 24 hours after giving birth. And I think between 39 to like they call it hemorrhage, I think, but it's like, when you're bleeding to death. And maternal mortality has always been a major health issue in Liberia. So tomorrow, I will be discussing it with a half Swedish and half Ghanaian midwife who was recently in Sierra Leone, ambassador to the UNICEF, and she is an active midwife in Sweden, and she do home delivery too. So I hope the women, you guys are welcome to tune in tomorrow. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much. The show today was good. We had good discussion. The women will be on fire tomorrow. And yeah. Okay. All right.
Bye,
So,
bye, everybody. It's a bye bye.
I like this lady. I like this
Bye
lady.
bye,
this
everybody.
darling. She's
wait,
very
we
nice.
can just run. I'm trying to conclude. So, we'll talk about the suffering of the people. This is election year, and I'm appealing to my brothers and sisters and everybody else. Call your relatives home. Let them make a sound decision. Let them put the right people in place. We live in where people country, we enjoy their benefit, but when it comes to Liberia, we only go for the ugly side. This time around, they make things right. And Sis Daughter will be joining me on the show too. So Jerome, she has answered your question. She'll be joining us on the show. And then she just sent a message. So we'll be hosting her here.
You'll be joining when you are in control.
Yeah, so you
isn't that like putting your legs in front? And you like the legs and stuff, know how to cook it.
She'll definitely be on the show, and then we can have this going. And thank God the platform is growing. Jemad is not here to make announcement, but something good is coming out of this. And I want to make this public announcement. During the election in Liberia, bottom line, I will be on the ground. So I'll be covering a lot of things on the ground with our correspondent and while on the show. So we're going that step. And the other announcement, I'll wait until Jamal appear because there's some good news that are coming out too. And there's a deal have been broken with some other radio station. He will make that announcement, and then it will be flown, and I'll be on the ground. I'll be around the trenches of Monrovia, wherever I can reach other county. I'll be reporting live for Butterland. So tune in and watch for this. We'll make this big. Jerome, and we need your blessing all the time. So that's a number one hit in the Liberian community, guys. The young guys are tired with this nonsense. I just want to play this and then close so we can close this show. Y'all love this new music.
Power no food, more for power no job, more for it. No, getting power no improvement, more for it. No, more for it. No, getting power no food, more for it. No, getting power no job, more for it. No, getting power no improvement, more for it. No, for it. No, more for it. No, shame on them. I said shame on them. Ooh, shame on them. Big shame on them. Ooh, shame on them. I said shame on them. Ooh, shame on them. Big shame on them. Ooh, shame on them. I said shame on them. Ooh, shame on them. Big shame on them. Ooh, shame on them. I said shame on them. Ooh, shame on them. Big shame on them. Ooh, getting power, showing love for them to make it better. And they getting power, trying in the jacket water. You can't be the coming, make mama la piwa better. The country hard, we are better. Boys, they're working from intern Steven Tower. They think we talking as well. I let them men, but they don't come up when they body keeping it on our monkey and friend. It's water inside the Tanya in the lion. I have been in the lion. That's why I
So, guys, it's all a little fun in it. This is exactly what we've been seeing. People vote for people, nothing, no improvement. So, this is the time that
No, but
we
the people are opening now. They are opening now.
Right.
Once they start making sound on you in Liberia, if
Yeah.
a Viking woman boo you, students boo you, meaning you out.
Oh, yeah.
You
And
out.
I can remember, I think I was in elementary school. There was 1980. It was in 1980 or 79. It were the elementary student that they took to the executive mansion with boo trouble after that Dokino office. Just imagine that age. We didn't know what was happening. We just boo trouble at the executive mansion.
Behold.
Yeah. I think the problem might be around like maybe 3rd grade or 4th grade at that time. And that was the end of summer. You see, so the boy we are. So, guys, on this note, I'm gonna leave this one with we are number 1 hit from the University of Liberia student, and then we can call it a day. And Jerome, we hope to see you again. Maybe you can join us next Tuesday or Friday if you're available. The platform is always here. And Linfa, talk to your sister after the show.
Dolly coming on.
Yes, she'll be coming on the show too. So Marie, Orita, you guys had a great show, and Obisi, I'll leave you with this beautiful music.
Dale como Bugateng.